subcategories that I think you'll enjoy. And if you give me just a second to get out of this, I'm going to show you one thing that's really cool. Paige recommends a whole bunch of books. And Paige, as a group, Parent Advocates for Gifted Education, I'm just going to show you a little bit of the page, has bought a reading library, a collection of books, and put them in the Milwaukee Federated System and in the Waukesha County Federated System. And then there are selected titles at the Racine Federated System, their big library. The books are housed in Franklin in Milwaukee County. They're housed in the main library in Waukesha, and they're housed at the main library in Racine. All of these titles are in the libraries, maybe not all of them in Racine, but the list is on the Page site. So if you see titles that look really interesting to you, go to the Page website and then check those books out. It doesn't matter if you're from Franklin, you can put it on reserve and get that book shipped to your library, or go to Franklin and take it right off the shelf. These are, according to many of us who've been in the field a long time, some of the best resources on gifted kids. I'm also going to give you a couple of websites, so, and again, they're referenced on the Page website. One of my favorites is Hoagie's Gifted, Hoagies, Gifted, all one word, .org. Lots of parent and teacher stuff on there. NAGC.org. That's the National Association for Gifted Children, and that's their main website. WATG.org, that's the Wisconsin Association for Talented and Gifted. And Same Gifted, SENGIFTED.org. SANG stands for Supporting Emotional Needs of Gifted, and they work with the heart of children. Okay? Afterwards, over here we have information, and my husband came along to man this table, but we have information on WATG, the Wisconsin Association, which you can join. Feel free to take the brochure. We have information and bookmarks on SANG, Supporting Emotional Needs of Gifted. And then we have what I consider to be the Bible on raising gifted kids. We have a number of copies here. They are $24.95, that's list cost. They are called The Parent's Guide to Gifted Children. And there are multiple chapters on almost anything you need to know from raising a child, a little bitty one, all the way up through college. Perfection, stress, intensity, multi-potentiality, be good at a lot of different things, sibling rivalry, traditions, tantrums, arguing. And it's written really lovingly. The authors of this book are truly wonderful people who have a lot of experience with gifted kids. The main author, Dr. Jim Webb, is just a phenomenal man in the area of gifted and psychology as well. So there are copies up here if you're interested. Okay, I'm going to show you just a couple things, and you can come up and look at some of these later. One thing I'd like to do is show you, and I have a grown-up who would be willing to play Vanna for me for a minute, just to hold this poster up. Here she is. Give Vanna a hand. Okay. All right. With some of my littlest learners, I said I'd share a few resources and then we'll have questions. I like to do some early logic, okay? You'll see there are 4 pumpkins here. They're labeled Pumpkin 1, Pumpkin 2, Pumpkin 3, and Pumpkin 4. And I'm going to give you some clues, and you're going to figure out which pumpkin is mine. Got it? Okay, kids, this is for you too. All right. My pumpkin has black and white eyes. The shapes inside of its eyes have corners. My pumpkin's eyes have squares inside. Which pumpkin is mine? Show me fingers. 1, 2. Oh, good, I see a lot of 2s. Good job. Okay, now this goes on and on. The puzzles get harder and harder. Deals with concepts like even and odd. Deals with concepts like, corners, sides, all that kind of thing. Some basic adding and subtracting. It's for our youngest learners, but great fun. There are multiple different kinds of things. There's clocks, there's which backpack is mine, which turkey is mine, which Valentine is mine. It comes out of Creative Publications. And all the stuff up here, you are welcome to look at and write down nice bands. Give Vanna a hand. Thank you, Vanna. All right. A couple of other things that I really love. These come from Nathan Levy, L-E-V-Y. These are called Stories with Holes. And in things like this, these are fun to play at home or in the car. I am going to give you a story. I better cover up the answer. Hang on a second while I turn over to my camera. Place this down. Oh, okay. I want you to be able to see some of the words, but I don't want you to see the answer. Okay. Can you see it? I wish I could focus a little better, but this is a cheap little camera here. They almost cost several $100s. All right. The scenario is, of the 85 people involved in a train accident, all of the people survived with no major injuries. There were 2 dead on the police list. Now you may only ask me yes or no questions in order to arrive at the solution to this puzzle. All right? Now if I say it does not compute, that means it has nothing to do with this puzzle. You're kind of like cold, okay? The question's cold. Would anyone like to ask a question about this? Go ahead.
Were they dead before the accident?
No. They were alive. Yes.
Is anyone's name dead?
Yes, it is. Okay, what was your clue?
Honestly, I've probably seen something similar before.
You've seen these before, okay. All right. But can anybody guess what might have given it away to her? The capital D. Now, if I had not given you the visual cue, this would have been more difficult, yes? Far more difficult. But I wanted you to see the thinking behind it. These work well for like 4th and 5th graders. I have a friend who's a substitute teacher. She takes these along with her. If the kids have a good day and they know her as the Stories with Holes lady, guess what they do at the end of the day? And they're good as gold for this, all right? So Stories with Holes, Nathan Levy. Just do a few more things. I think we will do Dot. Okay, this is the story of Dot. The Adventures of the Dot. Let me see if I get this on the screen for you. Okay. Dot goes to the beach. Okay. Join Dot and think. All right. It's a whole sequence of problem solving. And again, these are for younger kids, but they work with older kids sometimes too. One day, Dot and a friend go to the beach. Here are 2 things that they take with them. What could they be? Right? This is divergent thinking. What are all the possible things? They could be young man there. What could these things be?
The rectangle could be a towel.
You're right. What else could they be? Yes.
I know what it's called. The circle could be like a tube like around.
Inner tube?
Yeah.
Like an inner tube, a floater? Yeah, a floating, okay. Could be a lifesaver too, you know. The candy, right? Okay, and you could go on and on with this. Or a frisbee, yeah. All right, here's another one. Think about what kinds of thinking skills these teach, and they're not super complex to create. You can kind of create your own. I wish this was not quite so fuzzy. The beach is crowded with people sitting on beach towels. Number 1 through 6 and match the pictures with the words below. Okay, you can do this orally, of course, too. All right, which one of these, A, B, C, D, E, or F, could be a person reading a book? B and Y. Always add Y. Did you say B or D? I'm sorry, D and Y.
Oh, I thought you saying letter Y and saying there's no letter.
Oh, yeah, no, there's no letter Y. W-H-Y.
The circle is representative of somebody sitting, looking down from above,
Yep.
and then the book in front of them.
What do you call that when somebody's looking from above? Watch how I'm stretching. What's that called? Bird's eye view, okay? Would that give you a chance to talk about what's a bird's eye view? Why did they call it a bird's eye view? Have you ever had a bird's eye view?